Hey, what's up? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Sunday Rapid Swiss new tournament. We're just getting started here. Got the top board going. Chess Falcon versus Icy Stun. So this is a tournament we're doing in the dojo, open for everyone. But yeah, if you can't play, you're more than welcome to watch and see the games. So we have 32 players in the tournament, which is cool. I'm thinking you can still join. I don't think it's closed. You do have to join the ChessDojo club on chess.com first. Link is in the chat, and then you can join the tournament. Time control is 10+2. This looks like a Smith-Morrow. Is this a Smith-Morrow? I would bet a reasonable sum that this came from a Smith-Morrow. Called it. Okay, so white is playing his favorite opening. Black is playing his favorite defense. And seems like white has some healthy compensation. Black has definitely spent a lot of time so far and has not really figured out how he's going to finish his development. And this pawn on d6 is quite annoying to defend, but black does have good control over the e5 square, which is nice. It's just that whenever black moves the knight from c6, immediately has to be worried about tactics against the queen. So things are never easy for either side here. Looks like some players have already won their games. Let's see, we got Hortbeck on board 2. Oh, that messed up my layout. Let me fix that real quick. Do this. Is this gonna help things? No, that doesn't help things at all. That just makes things worse. Okay. I just need to fix the board a bit here. Oh, almost there. Okay, looks good. Yeah, it's because the chess.com, like, it always, you know, changes your layout based on how many games you're watching. Alright, what do we got here? Looks like Sicilian, some kind of Rossolimo. Okay, b3, but white plays bishop c4. a4 just developing. Bishop e6. d3. Wow, both sides wanting to double their own pawns. Because for both sides it's probably pretty useful here. And then after white goes d3, like in the game, if black takes, white can go dc and take full control over the d5 square and just start piling up on the d pawn. The queen d7, white decides, okay, can no longer take the attention. f3 definitely feels okay, a little unnecessary here. And yeah, interesting position. I mean, at first glance you might think white is doing well just because all of the pawns are on the dark squares, but this bishop on b2 is actually really restricted. And it's black's bishop that is taking control over some key squares in the position. So yeah, I don't know about this one for white. I think white is in under a little bit of pressure here, but we'll see. Hey, Infernal Kush. Yeah, I mean, You know, we can't police anything, so if you want to watch the stream and play at the same time, that's fine. I would say, you know, I guess if you hear me talking about your own game, you probably should mute it. that would be my suggestion, because yeah, if I talk about your game, you know, I'm probably going to mention some moves you should play, so might be helpful. I honestly, I think it's more fun to watch it afterwards, you know, and see like what the commentator said about your game. Because during the game, okay, it's just gonna be like super distracting. But yeah, I mean, we can't enforce anything, so people are free to do what they want. Hey, Raw Chess. I feel like your question is missing some kind of verb or noun. So we have knight f4 on the board from Sunny. Oh, bishop c1 from white. Good. He wanted to challenge this bishop on g5. Now he could definitely consider taking this way. But black will just recapture with something, probably with the piece, and yeah. Yeah, I didn't get it. Hey, Austin, good to see you. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. We got Jay Matthew playing Coolest Blue. Ooh, this looks like a Sveshnikov if I've ever seen one. E6 Sicilian, that's weird. But there is this move order with d6, bishop f4, and e5, yeah. And then all of a sudden we're in Sveshnikov. So knight a3, knight c4. Oh yeah, black doesn't play the normal b5 here, stopping white from using this square. Instead plays bishop e7. And that gives white a chance to bring the knight in. So this is, I think, kind of nice for white already, because the knight just easily gets to the d5 square. Now we didn't have to take on f6, but that's, I think, perfectly reasonable. You could also just play like maybe bishop d3 here, and then set up some kind of ideas with a4, b4, and eventually knight d5 after taking. But okay, white decides to take first. Hey, Nernays, thanks for the sub. h4, okay, thematic move. If black takes this one, we got queen h5 and winning the game. So rook c8, a4. Okay, both rook pawns working. Bishop c4, takes, knight e7, g3. And Anchorless, thanks for subscribing. Got a nice emote there. g3, queen c7. Okay, interesting position. I mean, it looks like white is strategically doing quite well. I would expect this guy to come up, just because it kind of makes everything in white's position feel secure. Rook is defended, pawn is defended. But this guy is defended for now, so white could just castle. It's just that when black takes here, we want to be able to... Oh, and castle's played. If black takes here, we want to be able to recapture with the knight. Queen takes c2. Let's see what's happening here. Take. We get the check. I don't know if white is really getting a winning attack. Rooks seem very misplaced. So if white has to take with the queen, it's like not ideal, but still pretty good. I mean, the pawn will come to c3, the knight will come to d5, and white is just going to have like a really nice position. So this one is a tough one for black. He does take on d5, queen takes d5. Looks like Icy won his game. This was the Smith-Morrow we saw earlier. Just want to see what happened here. So rook d8, white pushed e5. My guess is this just didn't work out because black just gets too many dark squares. Queen g5. Oh, and blunders the rook. But nice move actually, forcing queen trade. And then probably white doesn't have like enough in this endgame. Okay, blundered the rook, and yeah, black just wins everything. Alright, going to this game, we had knight takes f4, ef4. Wow, I'm pretty surprised black did not want to just trade off this bishop, because I mean black still keeps an edge here. Okay, I guess he won the game, so it doesn't matter. Oh, white kind of ran into some tactics. h5, nice find, kicking the knight before securing the skewer. Knight f2, and yeah, now it's all over, and queen got trapped as well. Yeah, tough game for white. I think things just kind of, actually I feel like things weren't that bad here. It's just that, okay, queen c3, definitely just kind of a tactical blunder. Bishop b2, still think black is better, but maybe it's not definitely not the biggest advantage in the world. I feel like black actually should have taken here, and then after trading bishops, then taking this way and establishing the knight somewhere on d4 or e5, or even taking with the rook. Just keep the pressure on the file, because we always have this knight d4 square. If white plays c3 here, it's always really weakening. But I kind of like ef4 just to undouble and prepare all this. Alright, going back to this game, looks like we got some trades. Bishop e7. Oh, white grabbed this pawn. Rook b8, b3. Yeah, now white is kind of cruising here. Extra pawn, good knight, bad bishop. Yeah, a lot of advantages. Let's see what other games we got going on. We got Chess Juice versus HP LaserJet Pro. We saw this guy play on Sunday Night Fights a week ago. Wow, what happened here? We got some, I mean, symmetrical structure. Looks like a Catalan type position where black got the bishop out on f5. Black should be totally fine. I mean, this bishop is often just kind of a problem piece. Here it's doing well. So b4, knight a4. Yeah, feels like black is kind of taking over a little bit. Grabs this pawn. I mean, the HP LaserJet Pro Series is one of the, you know, strongest chess playing printers out there, so really not too shocked by the win. Looks like just hung the rook. Oh, is it Nike? Is HP Nike? Yeah, I feel like I've talked to him in the Discord, but I always have a hard time putting names together. Okay, white won this game. Nice job, Jay. I think black just kind of had enough. Oh, we got Jay in the chat. Yeah, this I was just saying was like well played game. So you did good. Very instructive. Controlling the d5 square, h4, a4. I think I was just a fan of everything. Everything was correct. Perfect game. Hey Horbeck, sorry, yeah, we saw that one, unfortunately. Actually, your position is not that bad at the end here. Yeah, if you just play maybe just bishop b2 instead of instead of queen c3, and then it's passive. I think black is doing well there, but it's not like, yeah, it's not over. Yeah, h5 was a nice one. Hey, we got Icy in the chat. Alright, here we got HP DeskJet. Oh, this is Nike. Alright, he's playing Hephaestus. Okay, looks like he's piece up, about to be two pieces up. This game is over. Yeah, it's interesting. You guys see this? 400 points. We just witnessed one of the greatest rating changes of all time. 450 points gained in the last game. Yeah, a lot of these players don't have chess.com ratings, so they're going to be gaining some points quickly. Okay, we got a couple more games going. Yeah, because Hef is like, I know he's like a red belt in the dojo, so he's quite good. We got Chaxis playing against Apprentice. Wow, these games are gonna kind of come down to the wire. Hey Dingo, good to see you. Yeah, Apprentice is a streamer and YouTuber as well. He does some instructional stuff. Okay, I think we gotta go knight g5. Yeah, good. We gotta fight for this blockade square. I mean, despite black having 2 bishops, white's position I feel like is definitely not that bad because white just seems very active. And if white can push this pawn or find a way to activate the dark squared bishop with bishop a3, then white could be doing well. But the light squared bishop is definitely the strongest minor piece in the position. And now it feels like actually black is kind of taking control. Bishop h6 looks like a nice move. Okay, h6. Also possible. Hey, Shrek mated. Okay, now black still feels like in control. Oh yeah, this is, well, that's unfortunate. Still some chances for white. I think gotta push c3, just get the pawn going. This allows, yeah, you know, some blockade, f4. Okay, should still be winning. Actually, one of the things I always like about watching Blitz games is the technique. Now, these guys, I'm sure, are going to be making some mistakes. That's to be expected. But watching Grandmasters play Blitz, especially over the board, I've always found can be really instructive in terms of their endgame technique. Because they always show you exactly how to win the position super, super fast. You know, just bring the king in, bring the rook in, and like everything is super smooth. Surprised we're not seeing king to d5. This king really needs to step it up. King d7, yeah, I don't like at all. This king needs to have taken some space. Black missed the free bishop. That might have been true. I don't know. Oh, rook b1. Yeah. I think black should still have really good winning chances here, but it's not going to be easy. I think it was much easier before. Yes, your rook a6 wasn't necessary because white was not really threatening anything. Yeah, now we might even have to be a little bit careful as black here. Yeah, black is just giving up way too much space. Yeah, this is actually just looking terrible, unfortunately. Big turnaround. That's a bummer. If we go back, because I think the logical result would have been for black to win this game. Number one could have just played c3 instead of bringing in the king, and just white's position would have collapsed immediately. But yeah, the main thing is here, yeah, king d5. You just got to go active, and then white just runs out of moves very quickly. If white's king moves, our king gets in. If the bishop moves, the rook gets in. So it's just game over. Hey Archer, yes, tournament is going. All right, let's see. Do we have any? All right, this game black won. This game's still going. Oof, what's going on here? Black is a piece up, but white's got the pawns and the king. Should be a draw. I think we're gonna see some liquidation here. King e7. Seems like the easiest way. Alright, I think that's the last game. So the next round should be starting pretty soon. We got 34 players in, that's cool. Yeah, we got ICA at the top. Luca, Sunny, Hef, Jay, HP. Oh, Mitch is playing. He's on 1. Counter Sparks. I feel like I should put up the. I'll put up the standings. Oh, looks like round 2 has started. So we'll get on that as well. Actually, I don't. All right, board 1. We got Icy versus Rosewood. There we go. Oh, it's a little cut off. Oh, that's... Oh, that kills me. All right, let's redo that. Let's make this a little bit wider. Oh, I lost something important there. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay. Let's fix that. There we go. There we go. All right, let's fix the capture here. Okay, there we go. Now hopefully we can see some of the games and the standings. All right, so what do we have here? How did this game go exactly? So E6 and then F5. Oh, this kind of improved kind of Stonewall Nimzo Dutch Queen's Indian Bogo hybrid. Nice, Archer, you got the free point. Yeah, big hybrid. I mean, looks like black is doing absolutely fine. Castle's queenside, that's sharp. So yeah, this is like a pretty clear case of where white, you know, desperately hoping for black to take this one. So that not only they can capture the e4 square, but they can get the light squares and the open g file. Yeah, so many advantages for white if black takes there. So d6, that's right, just ignore the knight. Because this bishop, I would say, is the strongest minor piece in this position. It's just on the long diagonal. It's controlling a really important e4 square. In fact, if I was black, I would strongly consider just plopping the knight in here. Because if we go knight d7, if we wait a move, then white can play e4, it seems. And when we get the e4 break in this kind of position, I think this is usually going to be good for white, just because we open up against that pawn. So I think normally black tries to just plunk down the file, and then if white does this kind of thing, this I think is not going to turn out well. Even though the bishop looks bad, the rook is just opened up on the f file, and yeah, white gets really passive. Alright, we'll come back to this one. Let's see, we got counter sparks against Luca. Whoa, sharp position. What is this, QGD? Oh, Dutch, F5, H3, G4, yeah, nice little pawn sacrifice here, D5, black declines, E6, takes, bishop F4, a5, knight h3, a4. Yeah, weird position. This a5, a4 is really interesting. I guess black is wanting to play b6, bishop a6 pretty soon. And it seems like white is intending to castle and play on the king side. Yeah, both sides have their share of problems here. For black, it's mainly the bishop. Bishop could also come out this way, which now that I see, I kind of like better. Though I don't know, because in that case, white would play e3 and bishop would enjoy a comfortable life on this diagonal. Here, I think black's point is that if white plays e3, he wants to go b6 and bishop a6. But maybe this is a moment for one of those funny bishop b5 moves, where black goes bishop d7 and then white just like backs up. And then it's like, haha, your bishop doesn't get to go here like you wanted. But even in this case, I think the bishop is going to get out. And for white, this knight on h3 just needs to eat the bishop on f4, but it's hard to figure out where the bishop should go. It's bishop g3, knight f4. Feels a bit slow. So we'll see how both sides solve their problems here. Black, mainly with a5, a4, is just kind of ignoring his issues. White plays rook g1, also kind of ignoring his own problems, and the fact that his king hasn't really committed yet. But we got rook g1, we got g6, h5. Okay, so white is trying to break through. This makes sense, although it's unclear what exactly white is threatening, because there's no direct follow-up after hg, hg. The pieces just aren't in a position to kind of flood in. If you guys know what I mean. When you see a successful attack, it's always because like the queen gets to h6 and the rook opens up and the bishop is there, the knight is there, and white doesn't really have any of that. Now maybe his idea is just to shut black down with h6 and then just create this kind of long-term weakness. But I would just, honestly, I would just keep the tension. I think if you have a pawn on h5 and you can take or you can push and you're not sure which one to do, I would say just delay the decision as long as possible, and just see, because maybe something will change, the position will open up and you'll want to take, or maybe the position will kind of close down and you'll want to get this guy to h6, so we might change our mind. But from black's point of view, I mean, bishop d7, I think, kind of reinforcing the light squares, this makes sense to me. We got to improve our worst place piece. I think it's kind of as simple as that. Alright, let's see what other games we got going on here. We got Henry against Hef. And looks like we got an interesting position here. White finally cracks, takes on d5, and leaves himself with an IQP. Folks, this is tragic. We didn't have to do this. Although at some point black was going to take on c4, and this d4 pawn was going to be a problem. So it feels like white's structure in this position is not as solid as it initially might look. Kind of interesting. Take, white is trying to trade everything off, now has to be worried about knight c3. Yeah, I think white is just worse. This pawn is weak. The bishop on b7 once again, such a good piece, the best minor piece in the position. Queen can come in soon. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a grind. Ooh, let's go back to Icy's game. All right, this is the game I said where if black doesn't play knight e4, white will play e4. And yeah, knight c6, e4. Knight b4, white just takes on f5. Not sure how this is all gonna play out, but he grabs this pawn, not fearing any kind of discoveries because of queen e6 check probably. So king h8, knight g5, okay, putting pressure on this one. See, I like this. A lot of players, they see the rook lined up against the queen, they get scared. They're going to play queen h3, they're going to play queen d3. The only moves they consider are queen moves, right? Getting out of the danger. But here instead, white plays more actively with knight g5, bringing another piece into the attack, and ignoring black's threat because white creates ideas of his own. Now, of course, queen takes h7 means the knight can't move from f6, but white also gets knight e6 ideas, and doesn't have to retreat passively. He even has ideas to just simply go rook e6, rook takes f6, and queen takes h7. So definitely a dangerous position for black. Let's see what happened. bishop c8 played. Okay, that's definitely an attack white does have to deal with. So we might see queen d3 here. Knight e6, maybe white is going to be a little bit concerned about the pin. I kind of like the move queen d3, just keeping an eye on this one. And maybe we want to play d5 next and take full control over the e6 square. Alright, what's going on here? Black pushed b5. See, this is the problem. Both sides are like just pretending like they don't have bad pieces. White, you gotta fix your king, and black has to do something with the bishop. Okay, queen e3. White starts transferring his stuff over. b4. And black is initiating counterplay. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. I mean, this plan definitely does generate some ideas, but without the light scored bishop in the position, black is going to have a hard time. And without the light scored bishop in the position, white is going to have a hard time. So both of these guys need to think about their development a little bit more. Okay, white decides to go all in on the h-file, switches the rook back to h1. Yeah, this is kind of a loss of a tempo, but it's totally worth it because, you know what, the rook needs to be on the h-file. And so the rook was on the g-file, maybe that wasn't good, doesn't matter. Looking at the position now, it's clear the rook needs to switch over, needs to come to h6 very quickly. And okay, now black is definitely doing the right thing. He's just trying to open lines. If takes, he's going to take on c3, and he's got bishop takes a3 coming, or rook takes, and just counterplay. So white has to be very careful about how he handles all this, because his position could just collapse, and he might not have time to deliver the checkmate he's looking for. I would be thinking mainly about just how to get this guy to f4 again. Maybe bishop e5 is a move. Then knight f4, queen h3, this is kind of our idea. We can consider knight g1, although I would be pretty suspicious of this move, just to get like queen h3 ideas, but might be a thing. I don't know. It honestly feels like black is kind of in time here. I feel like white spent too many tempos, and yeah, black's counterplay is coming very quickly. But okay, white tries to slow it down. A takes b2, rook takes b2. Okay, now maybe black takes on c3, just continues to open things up. I'm guessing white is just going to take with the queen there. Oh, but then there's rook takes a2. How about this tactic? Woof. And takes bishop b4. So that's going to be a problem. Okay, he takes. So if white doesn't take this one, he's going to have to go rook c2, but then knight b4 comes with tempo. And everything's opening up. Okay, queen c3. Oh, bishop d7. He misses it. He misses the rook takes a2. I think that was just winning on the spot. Because black is also hitting this rook and threatening this very annoying check. That just looked really bad. Here, white gets a very important tempo, actually, to try to do something. But still, what to do about these pieces? The pieces just aren't coordinated. I'm very frustrated on white's behalf here, and I'm sure he is too, because it feels like white has this open H file, but it's very difficult to actually see how to use it. What to do? Maybe this bishop needs to be pulled back to d2 or something, just to cover more against bishop b4 ideas, and again, bring the knight to f4, swing the queen over to h3. See, if white just gets like 2 moves, immediately it feels like white's attack could just be winning on the spot. I mean, queen on h3 is no joke. That's a mate threat. But we'll see. Yeah, Infernal Kush, well, I feel like a lot of players are not, used to playing on chess.com, so their rapid rating is not going to be fully representative of their strength. Yeah, especially if they're like provisional, then we're in for a rough ride. Actually, we saw like a 460 point gain by someone in round 1, which I thought was crazy. Alright, let's see what's going on board 1. So queen d3 played, bishop g4, f3, bishop went back, knight e6. Could have also started with d5 here, but okay. Takes. Looks like Hortbeck won. Nice job. Rook e8, queen f5. Alright, white is still pawn up here. Probably going to see rook d1. Yeah, white is in control. Now if rook takes e6, what's going on here? Queen takes rook e8. Queen takes d7, rook takes e1. White is picking everything up in time. Oh, did white miss rook takes f6? Oh, you're totally right. Yeah. That was a very clean win. Rook d1, queen f7. So now black is covering against this. Still white has like a fantastic position here. Now can think about targeting the pinned knight. So yeah, lots of good moves here for white. Alright, let's see what's going on in this game. So we had e3 by white. Wow, what a decision. Blocking the queen off, but just choosing to develop. Maybe it was a right thing to do. Rook takes a2, black finds it. f3. Rook takes b2, queen takes b2. Okay, now it feels like... well, I mean... Black is up one very unimportant pawn. But it seems like white is... White's main problem is really just the king, and now white has to think about, okay, king f2, but again, blocking off the queen. The queen is just like desperately trying to get to h2 here. Maybe king g3 will be white's next move. Then queen h2, knight f2. Oh, the knight could go to g4. That's what the knight needs to do. Actually, yeah, white is kind of a genius for playing f3. Knight needs to get to f2, g4, f6, and then black will be getting checkmated, guys. So white is several moves away from winning. Kind of needs to get a couple of free tempi before he's going to be able to actually win it, but we'll see if he makes it happen. Okay, king g7, so black is fighting back on the h-file. Yeah, it doesn't seem like white can really be in time here. Rook h8, just pin the knight and never let white do anything. Alright, we'll stick with this game for now because it seems pretty interesting. But you never know, in these positions there could always be turnarounds. For instance, like white gives some bishop e5 check, takes, then knight gets to f4, rook gets to h6. All of a sudden white is winning, then queen takes g5 happens, white is losing, and yeah, who knows. Okay, bishop e7. So black is kind of latching onto this pawn. Wait, but what's going on f takes e4 here? Oh, because there's a d5 in the position. Yeah, I think this was probably missed. In fact, maybe even here white could have considered just taking already. So f takes e4, and now black is thinking. So yeah, things are all of a sudden not so easy. Rook h8, black down on time. Now one idea I would be interested in is going for the exchange so that we could pick up the e5 square. To me, this seems like maybe the thing to do. And we finally get our bishop out for once in our life. But we'll see what happens. Okay, rook h8 on the board. I'm really liking this one. Because this you just leave on the position. Just hold it over black's head. Haha, you can never take, because I get this d5 check and that's annoying. Definitely don't take here. Alright, he finds bishop b5. Nice. Now black is struggling. Maybe bishop d6 just to fight for the e5 square, because this is such a unpleasant threat. Alright. Bishop d6 on the board. Now white has some options here. I would probably just take this guy, push, just get all the dark squares, and then maybe bring the knight one day to f6, but hard to achieve all this. Maybe rook c1 is an idea here. Maybe e5, bishop moves, rook c1. But okay, knight will just move out of the way. It's not going to be such a big deal. The simplest maybe would be to take and take here. Okay, queen g2. This is kind of subtle. I guess he wants to take on f4 with the knight so that rook will be defended. But we'll see, because you know, white had a chance to leave black with kind of a dud light square bishop here. Strategically, black has some really nice pieces, because this knight is, oh man, just, oh, this knight is just waiting for the chance to get to f5, and it's happening. Black is going for it. He needs this square. He must have this square. Yeah, all three results still possible. All three kings safe. No, unsafe. Maybe knight takes e4, queen takes e4. Okay, white gives a check. Yeah, gotta take knight e4 here. Ooh. Okay, still knight f6 check. Yeah, is a big problem. Now bishop e5. Seems like black's king. White has finally gotten the h-file attack he's looking for. We'll see if he finds this one, which looks good. I think he's just focusing on the checks. Yeah, misses. Bishop e5. Knight e5 was probably also really strong there, but let's just get to the game. King g7 takes, bishop e5. Oh, queen h7, white is coming in. He's got 2-second increment, and he finds the mates. Yeah, clutch finish there by white. Definitely really back and forth game. Okay, let's see. We got Henry about to pull off a big upset here against Hef. He's got the infamously difficult queen versus knight endgame. I see. How's it going? I see you. You've noticed the miss. Where was it? Here, I think. Yeah, rook f6. Yeah, actually, I didn't see it either. PathDoc pointed it out, but yeah, that would have clinched it. All right, we'll see if white can convert this one. This one is really tough because at first glance it feels like, you know, you have a queen, so you should be winning easily. But on the other hand, black has a knight, and knights are always dangerous because they move weird. So all three results, I would say, still possible in this game. You never know. Black playing for the mate. I'm sure we've seen Nakamura and Magnus win with worse positions in low time controls. You know, this is definitely well in swindle territory. As long as there's a knight on the board, it's always possible. Okay, queen g2 there was winning on the spot. So yeah, I would say this is still unclear. This is not yet decided. F2 coming. King h1 only move. Oh, he takes. Okay, guys, like what? What is this? And now maybe white is still winning, it seems. No, white should be winning. The queen is just too strong. But we'll see if he panics. Just gotta keep calm. Yeah, no threats. Don't need to do anything special. Just need to set up some zugzwang here. Like, okay, see, white is trying to win this with checks. We just gotta play king f2 at the right moment and no problem. But yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, brutal. Oh my god. We gotta look away. We can't. Oh no. Oh, what a shame. You know, it happens, guys. I mean, honestly, I can't say I haven't done that many times myself, you know, so I'm not going to judge. It happens. Now, am I a genius for calling that? Who's to say, you know? Who's to say? We got round 3 starting. Ooh, some big matchups here. Jay versus Icy. You're watching me for my judgment. Yeah, you know, in that situation, Henry, you just gotta breathe. You know, you don't have to win with checks. Just move the king, and black will run out of moves. The knight will be pushed back. You know, what can you do? Okay, we got open Sicilian. See which one Icy goes for here. We're gonna get a Sveshnikov, classical Sicilian, 4 knights, classical Sicilian. Okay. So current standings. Got a couple players on 2 out of 2, actually several players. 5-round tournament, so long way to go. We're going to be reaching the halfway point soon. We got bishop c4, the Fischer-Sozin attack, black goes e6, very normal move. Bishop e3, okay, both players following some theory here. Now white has many different ways of developing. The famously dangerous attack is to go queen e2 and castle queenside here, followed by g4. This one's pretty risky, but it can be a lot of fun for white to play. Fischer himself often played with just simple move castling, f4, bringing this bishop back to b3, f5, and just trying to hammer down on the e6 pawn, which I think is like a pretty relatively straightforward plan. Let's see, we got Mitch playing, oh, another Sicilian. This looks like a Taimanov, if I've ever seen one. And he's playing GM on Kush. g4. It looks like this is all theory. Yeah, bishop e5. I've studied this. I play this as black. King f8. Queen takes b7 coming. And then queen b8. Oh, both players are showing some some knowledge here. And yeah, black has like sacrificed the pawn, but he's kind of okay because this one is always hanging and is going to be weak in the future. White has a pawn up, but yeah, it's difficult to win this endgame. Definitely takes a lot of technical prowess. Let's get back to this game. Oh, it looks like this one is going to be fun. Maybe we'll stick with this one for a little while. We got castles queenside, a6 on the board. And yeah, now I would think about the move g4 here with white. Yeah, Velmirovich attack, exactly. Classic. I mean, these lines are, it's like whenever you check the engine on these positions, it's always like, it just hates, it just doesn't think white has anything. Like black is better. But when you play it over the board, it's just like g4, rook g1, knight f5, g5. I mean, white's attack is like so straightforward. You know, I think black should be terrified. Yeah, g4, absolutely. There's a really nice game between Sam Sevian and Ben Feingold in a classical tournament that you guys should look up, where I think black played queen e8 and it was like a rook g1 and knight f5, and he just sacks the piece, opens the g file, gets like bishop h6 in and rook g3 and rook dg1, and Sevian just crushes him. Super strong attacking idea. Really nice game. And if I remember correctly, I think that was a tournament where Sevian actually got his GM title because he had already gotten the norms and he needed his live rating to cross 2,500. And in order to do that, I think he needed to win like 4.5 out of 5 or something. He started 4 out of 4, and I think he got it. Like he just like he crushed it. He beat like 4 GMs in a row. He beat like Boros, I remember, huge game. He crushed Feingold. He beat some other players, and yeah, really impressive performance. But anyway, we'll see how black deals with this. Icy is thinking, so I'm guessing he doesn't have a lot of experience in this kind of position. Objectively, black is like supposed to be fine after queen c7 or something, but it's dangerous. It's hard to play these positions. So we'll see how he handles this here. You would take white against any non-title player? Well, I mean, why non-titled? If you're gonna beat a title player, I mean, this is the position to do it in. You know, you're not gonna beat him in like some QGD position, but you will beat him here. You know. Oh yeah, definitely we would be less confident. Okay, black plays interesting move, knight e5. Now I wonder if maybe white should have backed this bishop up to b3 in order to avoid this, but somehow I feel like this is not such a huge concern and that white should just play bishop b3 anyway. Because if black takes this pawn and allows the open g file, I don't know about this. I think this would be really dangerous. Even giving up the dark squared bishop, I think this kind of pressure is going to be a problem. I mean, white could also consider g5. Oh yeah, well g5, right, if the knight goes back, then okay, maybe even bishop takes e6 or we go back, no problem. But if knight takes c4, actually white can probably take on f6 here. So it just seems like usually this pawn is going to be grabbing more material. And that seems to be the case. Black has to take, we take, and we're a piece up. So yeah, I actually think this move kind of meets somewhat simple refutation. Just g5. Black will have to move the knight. If knight d7, okay, we should be thinking about this one, but I would just go back, and now knight e5 is kind of a pointless move because white is just going to hit it with f4. And then we have ideas of like knight takes e6 sacrifices followed by bishop takes e6 and checking the king, getting the knight to d5, and yeah, going to be really dangerous for black. We'll see if white finds this. Hey, Scott. Yeah, 10 plus 2 is, I would say, pretty fast. But, you know, I figured we've been doing mainly classical tournaments in ChessDojo. And, yeah, people are always asking for, like, blitz and rapid events. So, yeah, I figured, okay, we have to. It's been too long. Like, we gotta do something. So, here we have it. Later today, though, we'll be doing Sunday night fights. Not sure if you're playing today, but that'll be at 3 p.m. Okay, f3 I don't like because this lets black just take on c4 for free, and then black gets the light square bishop and is probably standing really well. Maybe b5, bishop b7, whoops, rook c8, and I think black just has very reasonable Sicilian. And yeah, looks like we have knight c4, queen takes c4 on the board. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. We got Hef winning against HP LaserJet. Okay, Hef is the guy who pulled off that insane swindle last round. Looks like he got some early initiative here. Won this pawn, knight f5. Oh, and black resigned probably because he's losing this pawn. And everything is gone. Should take with the bishop instead of the queen on d7. Is that... Oh, that's weird. Queen takes d7 is really strange. Yeah, this feels... Maybe it's playable, but it feels super slow. Right. Yeah, I feel like I've only ever seen bishop takes d7. Although I feel like I also mainly see black developing this guy first. But okay, a6 is fine. Yeah. Well, tough one. All right, going back, we got queen d3, bishop b7, g5. Okay, now I guess knight d7 we're going to see. Probably f4 to cover both of these squares. But f4 really increases the scope of black's bishop. So yeah, this is kind of a tough one for white. I think white is actually in danger of being seriously worse here because knight e5 is coming, rook c8, Knight c4. And black's counterplay just kind of flows in this position. Really comes quick. Alright, we got Sunny versus Counter Sparks. Ooh, looks like some kind of French Caro. Oh, Nimzovich defense. Nice. Black gets the light scored bishop out. White takes on h6. This is always a weird exchange. I mean, it's very double-edged. Here, I feel like it might be in white's favor, but we'll see just because this bishop ends up a real target. White could have also considered, like, bishop d3 to trade that off, but... Wow, takes bishop b5. And white is bringing the pressure. Knight d4. This might force black to play bishop takes d4, but then c takes d4, rook c1. And this pin is going to be really annoying for black. So yeah, if Counter Sparks doesn't figure something out here quickly, could be in trouble. Okay, bishop takes d4 played. But now what to do? Like a6 doesn't have a threat. White just goes rook c1. But the pin is real. Can black castle rook c1 and go bishop e8? If this is the only defense, black is in real trouble. And it's not even a defense. White just wins. White wins by force. Yeah, so this is a problem. This is going to be a problem for black. Okay, king e7. Well, actually, creative solution because he gets the bishop here. And doesn't have to deal with his king being on the queen side. But maybe he should have just brought the king to h8 because here he's still getting kind of hit with queen a3. Then the king will get in the way of the bishop. But okay, I think better solution than anything else we saw. Definitely white is very much in control. Maybe queen a3. At some point has to try to bring this knight to h5 and f6. I think that would be kind of important. Actually, queen a3 is kind of annoying to deal with because we have queen f3 check and then queen f6 mate. So that's an awkward one for black, actually. I don't exactly know what the plan is. Maybe he wants to go king d8, but that's obviously not ideal. Okay, queen c2 going after this guy. Seems like that's not too difficult to defend. Black has a lot of moves here. But he also has queen c5 check maybe. So far we got Hef sitting comfortably at 3, but a couple players could join him. Icy, Sunny doing well. Mitch also having a time advantage in his game. Okay, rook g7 played. Now another idea white could consider is f4. Knight takes d4 is never hanging because of queen c5 check and black would lose. f4, f5 seems like interesting way to just kind of break in. Might have been good. Queen c5 check, I'm guessing we're going to see king d8. Okay, f4. Queen f8 also possible, just fully infiltrating in this last position. Like bringing the queen to h8 if needed. Unless we just get a little trapped here. We get a little trapped. So I kind of like f4. And just trying to open this one up. Yeah, this is a problem for black because rook on a8 is just not in the game. Okay, queen f7. I think white should just move forward anyway. Black is trying, but yeah, position is really difficult. So we'll see if white can finish it off. With good technique, should be just like totally winning position for white. Okay, f5. Yeah, now he's just trying to break through. Yeah, I would imagine white wins this one. Okay, let's go to board 1 encounter. The top seed Icy against Jay, who he's in one of the ChessDojo training groups and definitely a really sharp player, so this game can still go either way. And white has kind of nice time advantage actually, 4.5 minutes versus 1.5. I mean, this is that's no joke. Actually, I feel like black kind of misplayed this one over the last couple moves. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna have to talk with Icy about this one. Knight c5 is a big no-no. I mean, this knight against this pawn chain, I mean, bishop is already struggling. Knight on c5 is actually not a great piece here. It's just kind of getting in the way. Knight should have gone to e5. So then here the knight can still go to c4. Black can think about d5. Rook is still opened up. Yeah, imagine this position. Black just played knight e5. Either white has to allow queen d2, knight c4, which is immediately awkward, or queen e2. You know, black can just immediately consider the exchange sack. And I mean, this is like, this is textbook, you know, textbook stuff. Black just wins. It should be winning. I don't care what engine says. I don't care what anyone says. Should be winning position. So that was kind of a miss. Probably white would have to go queen d2 and allow all this stuff. So a bit of a misplay. So now white is getting more counterplay in the position than before. But black goes d5. And, okay, good move, trying to open up some play. But the problem is, if white can just play e5, which he does, and black doesn't have anything, well, now we're just going to see a French where, I mean, it's not such an easy position for black. Usually black is alright, but this one is tough. You know, white's going to play knight g3, f4, cover the e4 square, and then one day go g6 or h6 or f5. And black is going to have a hard time activating his pieces. So I don't know if d5 was the right call here. Maybe he felt like everything else was too slow, but yeah, it just shows that earlier black should have put the knight on e5. I think that's really important. Okay, we have a4, probably playing for b3. Now Icy is down to 30 seconds, so not a lot of time to think. He's just going to have to make moves. You know, you don't worry about the b4 pawn. I don't think white is going to be reckless enough to take this one. I don't really see what black does there necessarily, but yeah, white just does the right thing, just playing for the initiative. Now we have lines like this, where if black tries to keep everything closed, it just doesn't happen. White sacks the bishop and wins. So g6, black just ignores it. I think, yeah, this is probably the right thing to do from practical point of view. If takes, the king is just going to hide. So a lot of times white plays that one in the position, just to guarantee that all the h and g files are opening up. And rook dg1, and that's kind of a nice. This is kind of a nice idea because it really doesn't give black a chance to push g6, right? Because if you take first and then you go h6, black goes g6 and uses your pawns as cover. But by going h6, you don't allow that, because then you're always starting to take on g7, you have bishop h6 ideas, and so on. Okay, instead, yeah, black just ignores everything, which I think is the right thing to do, and goes b3, but yeah, now I think h6 is the move here. Has to be the move. Black isn't really threatening anything themselves. If b takes a2, we'll go king a1 and use their pawn as cover. See how they like that. So yeah, really interesting position. We'll see what happens. Ooh, c takes b3. No, I don't like this. I mean, he's trying to stabilize everything, but I don't think this was necessary. Now black gets counterplay with bishop a6 and bishop d3. Hortbeck says just play one of the worst games of my life, I think. Well, can only go up from here. So, you know what? Maybe not so bad. I think white kind of missed his chance, because now bishop d3 is a threat. This one is hanging. Yeah, h6. There we go. Better late than never. But now bishop d3 can take here, and I think he should. Yeah, white is going to win the exchange with hg, but he's going to give up a lot of his attacking power. And I think this is probably just good for black. In fact, he doesn't even have to take this pawn, but he could. But yeah, he doesn't have to. Now the bishop is just like a monster. And Archer just played one of the best games. Well, unfortunately, it's only going to go down from here, if that's true. So I hope for your sake that it isn't. But now, like, White's king is just in a perpetual state of checkmate. Oh, he played Hortbeck. That's funny. I guess knight f4 could turn the tables. White wants to take and go queen h2. Yeah, scary stuff. Black is also looking to sacrifice pretty soon, but I think White is kind of first. Yeah, rook takes h7 should be good. Queen h2 check, king takes, knight takes e6, and winning this one. Queen h2 first is also probably good, but h5 is a problem, so yeah, just take on h7. Take first, think later. But okay, we'll see what happens. Very, very sharp stuff. He's calculating. You know, this is what we do the training for, right? This easily could be one of the white to play positions. Queen h2 kind of blows it. I think this one was just a win. Oh, maybe not actually. Maybe check. He has bishop h4. So maybe not so easy, although it feels like white is still doing well. But okay, let's see what's going on. Queen h2, h5, rook dg1. Well, this seems pretty strong. I mean, white is... everything is hanging. Okay, knight takes b2. Desperation, I think just ignore this one. Maybe take on g6. Oh, black wants to go queen a5. Oh, this is scary. This is real scary. Maybe white should take the knight. Just go queen takes b2. Just say never mind, I want the material. Okay, king takes b2, bishop takes a3. Oh, black is going all in. King b1, nice move. Using black's pawn as cover. Oh, and black flags. I guess he couldn't find a move. Yeah, it seems like kind of running out of ideas here for black. And if there's no mates, then white is... I mean, could have played something like queen c7 just to continue the game, but my guess is white should be doing well. Hey, Julesy, it won't be up to me. We'll look for a Jerome Gambit. You know, maybe Sunny or someone can play it for the stream. Hey, J Matthew, nice game. Actually, one thing for you, I feel like you missed a big chance here. With c takes b3, I think you just got to go h6 immediately. You know, just go for this one right away. And if takes, take with knight, and I think we're in time. Yeah, and for you, I see absolutely knight e5. My God, I mean the knight on c5 actually is famously misplaced for black. So you gotta remove this move from your repertoire, because against pawn on f3, knight on c5, bishop on b7, they just don't work. Knight on e5, you're just crushing here. If queen e2, you take, and you know this should be fantastic for black. You know, this is just something you play. Yeah, I guess in the opening, the one thing I thought here, Jay, I wasn't sure why you didn't play g5. This just looked like the move to me. Maybe knight g4 is annoying. Actually, I might have spoken too soon. Yeah, maybe this one is bad. I don't know. Feels like white should be doing all right here. Maybe you can just go back and sacrifice this pawn. I think this might be worth considering. But okay, let's see. Do we have some games? We got one game left. Looks like equal rook end game, but white is down on time, so black is playing for the swindle. Ooh, gotta make a move. Oh, I don't like e4. White is really just trying to... Now after king g4, black is getting some actual ideas there. Yeah, king f3. Yeah, much better move. Alright, black has an extra pawn. White should be well within the drawing range. Rook g8 is nice. King f2 should be next, or king f3. And, well, black is going to try. I mean, it is extra pawn, and he has big time advantage. You know, white has to demonstrate that he can actually hold the position. I do like this plan of just keeping the king cut off. This is pretty, this is pretty simple, and hard to see how black makes a lot of progress here. Just keep going back and forth. Yeah. Don't even think about checkmate or anything. Just move back and forth. All right, now you can go rook g4. Guarantee the draw. Okay, rook f8 is also fine. Just give checks from behind and pick up the pawn. Okay, rook e4 there was good. Rook h4. I mean, the thing is, white can literally do anything. You play rook b5 and just cut off the king. Alright, you got the king cut off again here. And we got over 100 moves in the game. Nice. The nice thing actually about playing these endgames out is you kind of get to realize as white that, like, oh man, there's so little danger. And so you feel more confident in future endgames because you just realize, okay, this extra pawn is like almost meaningless. Alright, that's the end of round 3. Looks like we got Sunny, Hef, Jay, Mitch on 3 out of 3. Mitch won his game, looks like. And round 4 starting up. Alright, we got Jay versus Hef. Mitch versus Sunny. Mitch going for his e4, his big repertoire. He's got the Naka flare. And looks like we're going to get a Sicilian. Open Sicilian. d6, e6. Okay, d4. Are we going to get another Taimanov? We'll see. Hey, thanks Mimu for following the channel. Much appreciated. I'm having a lot of fun with this rapid event. I don't know about you guys, but I think maybe rapid chess might be the future. I don't know how long classical is going to stick around the way things are going. Okay, we got a Taimanov here. I'm not sure exactly why black is delaying knight f6. I don't think he really needs to in this line, so I would just play knight f6 here. And then we'll probably see f3 with white. Or for white. Okay, b5. Mitch actually had this in the previous game, so he's gonna laugh. Like, he literally had this exact line. He played g4 here. Black played knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, bishop b7. And then this was that endgame they got, if you guys were watching, where white goes g5, knight h5, bishop e5, takes here, and takes queen b8. Black sacks a pawn and then is doing all right. So we'll see if we get that same position. Okay, bishop b7, so black does not take on d4. White goes king b1, useful move. Yeah, these positions are really interesting. I've played them from mainly from black's point of view, actually, because I used to play the Taimanov. And black doesn't have a ton to fear on the king side. h6 I don't like. I definitely don't like this move. I think, if anything, this is just going to make white's attack stronger one day. So we'll have to talk to Sunny about this one. I think black should just castle, and there's not that much danger here. Yeah, white just goes h4, and now it's like, yeah, now how are you going to castle, bro? Because now g5 is actually opening up lines, right? Because someone put black's pawn on h6. So now it's dangerous. Yeah, now black might be in trouble. So he's going to have to play with his king in the center. This feels like one of those games where I think we're going to see black keep his king in the center, maybe castle queenside. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Maybe white goes bishop h3, bishop d3, g5. Okay, b4 attacking the knight. White puts the knight on a4. This makes sense. And now the problem is when black takes these guys, white's knight gets this nice b6 square. Okay, d5. Trying to strike in the center. But this is dangerous. Black's king is on e8, so this is going to be really sharp. We'll see how white deals with this though, because for the moment he can't really go g5 there because of hg and rook on h1 is hanging. Don't worry, Archer, you're gonna do great. You're gonna do absolutely fine. So white takes on c6 instead and goes knight b6. Okay, attacking the rook. I think we're just gonna see rook b8 here. And then yeah, actually really sharp position, because I mean black is opening everything up with the king in the center, but on the other hand, oh, I like rook d8. I like rook d8 a lot. Yeah, black has this kind of dynamic pressure against white, and I actually think black is doing absolutely fine now. I mean, takes. This piece is strong, the rook is strong, queen a5 is coming. I mean, white's pawns are going to be weak here. I think black is actually, yeah, has solved all of his problems. So white, I think, went wrong somewhere here, because this feels like it should have been good. I don't know, maybe taking on c6 wasn't right. I'm trying to, I'm not sure exactly what white should do, but something to think about, because this really did not work out for him. Queen e2. Okay, now black castles, and now black's position is extremely healthy. I mean, this bishop on d5 is just, you know, actually I've said this like multiple times in the stream. This light squared bishop is often just the best piece in the position. It just controls everything. I mean, white's bishop on f1 is struggling. You know, at best, white can hope for is trading this one off. But I think black is clearly better and in control here, and could look to put some pressure. Maybe bishop c4, chasing the queen. I also like queen a5. Probably would force b3. Black can also just think about simple move a5 and, you know, just playing this one kind of positionally. Something like this. And then looking to go rook c8, a3, or b3. Yeah, it should be slightly better for black, but not like a decisive advantage. Okay, bishop d6. Probably playing against f4 here. So if white goes f4, I guess black is thinking about grabbing this pawn, and I think he should be able to get away with that. Instead, we got g5, and now, okay, white is at least getting some play, so that's good. g6 here, I probably wouldn't be too worried as black. I think I just take, and this structure should be pretty solid. But okay, we're going to see that anyway. Yeah, I think just take. If we leave this pawn on g6, then one day the queen gets to h5. Could be dangerous. So yeah, I think we just take this one. We put the king on h7, and we try to hold on. Maybe queen f7. Yeah. Okay, we got f4 on the board. Bishop takes f4. Well, white is trying, you know, gotta give him credit for opening up lines. He does have this g file one day to work with. This is still, I mean, I think this could easily go a number of different ways. Black has some very clear weaknesses in the position, so even though it's like 2 pawns up for black, the game could turn, I think, really quickly. And I'm not even sure this is all that clear. I mean, white can take on d5 here, go queen e6 check, queen takes a6. I mean, this feels like it's very slim. I mean, black has some extra pawns, but all of black's pawns are weak. All of these pawns are weak, so this could easily go any number of directions. Rook g1 coming, queen d3. Yeah. Okay, in the other big game, we got Jay versus Hef. These guys are both on 3 out of points as well. Yeah, basically we have 4 players going into this round with 3 out of 3. Hey, Saucy Merchant. Yes, this is lo-fi. I mean, this is what I think is lo-fi. I don't know if it's officially lo-fi. But this is the Twitch and Chill playlist on Spotify that is copyright free. And is actually quite good. I know, like, I listen to it normally, even when I'm not, like, streaming. By the way, guys, yeah, do check out our training camp that we're running with Jesse and David if you want some hands-on hardcore chess training. You can register at that link. Unless you're not a US player, if you don't have like a US Chess Federation rating, then you just have to register directly through the Discord. And if you haven't joined the Discord, it's hard to imagine that that could be possible, but you should join ChessDojo. We are all about the chess improvement. Okay, let's see what's happening in this game. We got looks like we got a Philidor, Bishop C4. I think this is a pretty reasonable setup for white, but after C6, I think you gotta go A4. You gotta go A4 and prevent black from gaining space with B5. Then you can do all the same stuff. Bishop E3, Rook E1, Bishop A2, Knight H4, Knight F5, Queen F3, Queen G3, Queen takes G7, checkmate, you know, Bishop H6, whatever you want to do. But you gotta start with A4. Because here black just gets too much space. And immediately gets counterplay, also hits, threatens B4, so Bishop B3, we might have seen B4, and then the E4 pawn might just hang. So that's kind of the problem for white. Okay, transfers the knight to G3, Queen E2, Bishop F8, and this is what we got. Reasonable position, I would say black should be totally fine here. So all of black's pieces are working. Black has a good structure, good center. Maybe can play G6 soon to just restrict the knight on G3, prepare to put the bishop on G7 if black wants to. And yeah, it's actually quite difficult. A lot of white's pieces here are not that good. So I think black is doing all right. Should be about equal. Maybe I would even slightly prefer black here, just because it feels like black's position might be a little bit more comfortable. Okay, Bishop E6. You might see Knight F5 here, but Knight F5 we always have to be careful about losing the E4 pawn, so not sure we can do this one. But yeah, interesting position. We'll see what happens. So we'll focus on these two games, our two leaders. We got some other players playing. Icy here on 2 out of 3, trying to get his way back. He's playing white here against Bonsai 91 from Equatorial Guinea. Hey, Unsound Chess YouTube, how's it going? Alright, let's see, going back to Mitch's game. So this is going to be a technical, very technical position. We got the heavy pieces. White is down a pawn, but all of black's pawns are weak. So it's really hard to say that black is even playing for an advantage here, just because it seems like, you know, if white wins back one pawn, white is just instantly going to be better. So now rook takes d5 is kind of a threat. If rook f1 check, just going back, rook d1. You know who would be really good in this kind of position? Mickey Adams. That guy is just like technical genius, especially in heavy piece positions. Carlsen too. Caruana, all the top guys, really good chess players, in fact. Okay, let's see. We'll go back to this game just because there's more pieces on the board, maybe a little bit more excitement in this one. Looks like last couple moves were rook d2, h6. Thanks, Shrek-mated. Yeah, you know what? This, I think a lot of people don't know this, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but Magnus Carlsen is very good at chess. And I think people just don't realize, you know? El Magneto. I'm not sure about h6. I mean, it seems like black is trying to stop knight g5, but I think g6 is really the move black needs to play here. Maybe he'll play both. Maybe he'll play both h6 and then g6. This guy has to be defended, but the bishop can really defend a lot of these squares on the king side. Yeah, if only there was some kind of title he could earn that would prove that he's a good chess player. Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. But yeah, I mean, if Magnus Carlsen was actually good, I mean, he would have been in PogChamps, right? So yeah, like, I mean, that kind of shows that he's not maybe as good as people make him out to be. Best player in the world is, what was his name? Yasuo? I don't remember. Voyboy? Is that the same person? Voyboy, #1 player in the world right now. Yeah, he's #1 in the rankings. You know what they should do is they should just have chess rankings where fans can just vote on who they think is the best player in the world, and that'll just be #1. So yeah, maybe we'll put Naka #1, XQC #2, Voyboy #3. Hey K Mills, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Okay, we have A3, definitely what I would say semi-useful move for white. Just making sure the pawn is never on pre in the future. What was that Magnus tweet of Hikaru? I don't know, was that a recent tweet? I haven't been on Twitter much. He's #1 in English language streaming. Ooh, I don't know actually. I remember that, but yeah, I didn't quite catch the full context, because I think Magnus was also streaming at some point. I don't know if he got as many viewers as Hikaru, probably didn't. But maybe he got more in Norwegian or something. I don't really know. Okay, knight takes d3. Black can no longer handle himself, has to grab the bishop. Now I would think CD is the way to play this in order to strengthen the structure, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, c takes d3 on the board, and now white can switch over. I don't know if I like black's exchange on d3. I think this makes white's position a lot easier to play. This bishop on d3 was not a good piece. Okay, c5. Yeah, so black is taking some space. I think this in principle is correct. And now we basically have like kind of a reverse Sicilian type of a Najdorf structure, maybe a Marazzi almost. Okay, rook c1, good. Rook c2 coming, maybe b4. It's not going to be easy for black because he has a 2 bishop, so good. Okay, he's fighting on the light squares. Maybe d4 now we'll see from white, just to take some space. If white just takes this one, then takes, I think white is worse, for sure. But I kind of like d4, just fighting back, maybe ed4, knight takes d4, and we get some kind of solid footing in the center behind this knight. But we'll see. D takes c4 played. Ooh, I don't know if this was... why is white worse here? Well, bishop takes c4. And yeah, I wasn't sure what white does in this position. Oh, b3. Maybe b3 is a move, but yeah, I mean, there is bishop takes here, for example. Right. But also this endgame, I don't know. I like the bishop in this move, you know. Can you imagine? But instead we have dc bc. Actually, this makes sense too. In fact, I should have considered this one a bit more, because this pawn is just kind of like super secure. Black gets the open b file, can just pile on. I don't know if black has like a huge advantage, but I feel like black is the one kind of in control here. Okay, in our other big game, oh, things are finishing up here. Let's see what's going on. Rook g4, takes. I think white is in trouble. I think white is actually in some trouble here, because if black's king is able to come in, this g pawn is really dangerous, and this a pawn is not going anywhere. So either g3 here, or maybe king f4 to shoulder. I think white's last move was no good. I think king e4 was needed. I think you got to try to defend against this guy. Curious to see how this one plays out. Rook c2. Oh, he wants to go behind. Grab this one. Okay, so black goes king h4. Maybe he wants to set up g5. And then g3 and just run the pawn. But I don't think black is really worried about white taking this pawn and then giving the rook up for the last pawn, because white's a pawn is never going to survive. So it's not one of those endgames where like white gives up his rook and then can make a draw with the a pawn, because this pawn is just lost. But now it's looking really grim because white's king is cut off. And so king h3, g2, I think it's just busted. maybe white was doing okay earlier, but looks like we had this 2 rook endgame. Kind of passive the way things ended up for white here. I don't know if he had other options, but feels like maybe he had a way to maybe be a little bit more active here, and now it's tough. I don't know about g5 here. Black really doesn't need to be worried about the second g pawn. Just go king h3, g2. I don't really see the problem. Just promote the pawn, win the game. Rook f3. Yeah, I don't know if black needs to be messing around with all these nuances. Okay, rook f2. I mean, he's winning, but it's, I think, just not necessary. I mean, the pawn is... King h3 should be good. White's king is just way too far from anything to do anything here. So g2 coming, rook f2, rook f1. Should be game over. Yeah, just g2, rook takes, g5, rook g3, and black's pawn will promote first. Okay, g2 on the board. I'm guessing we'll see resignation soon. So Sunny will be on 4 out of 4. Going back to our other big game, looks like we had knight d2. White actually manages to grab this pawn. And now white is a pawn up, 2 pawns up. Oh, so this game really turned around. I mean, black might have some positional compensation, but 2 pawns is 2 pawns, and I don't know if black is really going to be able to get enough if his pieces aren't active. Okay, rook b1. Now maybe white plays rook c2, or rook c8 can also consider, with bishop c5 ideas, knight f5, and just playing for mate. But rook c2 kind of keeps everything protected, and I don't see what black's next move is. I think white is just 2 pawns up, slowly on the way to equalizing. Okay, Sunny did win his game. So he's on 4 out of 4 and is currently leading the tournament. We'll wait for the results to update. There we go. And this is the other game where one of these players, if they win, can catch up. So it's up to Jay or Hef here. Seems like things are in white's favor, but we'll see. We'll see, guys. Of course, anything can happen. After that game, Hef won with the knight versus queen. I mean, I already knew anything could happen, but now I'm just like a re-believer. Newly born, anything can happen. Believer. Okay, looks like the e4 pawn has been hanging for some time. I'm not sure why both players are ignoring this one. Maybe queen f3 is a problem or something. I don't really know, but let's get back to the game because we're missing a lot of moves. g6, b4, rook b2, rook a2. Okay, white is definitely trying to convert. Now black finally goes for the e4 pawn. Okay, maybe this is all right for white. You know, you give up 1 pawn, but you can start pushing forward. Okay, queen b2. Some nuances. Wants to take with check and then recapture. Bishop d6. Now this is lined up. White might be feeling a little uncomfortable, but b5. Yeah, just start pushing the pawns. I mean, I think white should have really good chances here. Okay, fg, keeping the king safe. I don't think black's pawns are going to be in time. I think this is coming way too quick. White just needs to push, 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 push. Now at least the situation is simplified, so this is kind of in white's favor. His plan is very simple. He doesn't have to look at a lot of options. Now black does have some annoying counterplay with h4, so white kind of nips that in the bud. And in general, white is going to have to be careful about losing to some tactics on the g3 square. Yep, black is playing for exactly this. Maybe bishop g5. Oh, I think white blunders that. Yeah, it's probably not. Now it could go either way. A lot of counterplay here for black. White is still holding on though. I mean, if the queens come off, white wins. These pawns are way too strong. So it's not clear that this is actually so good for black. Queen takes f7 hanging in the position. And this is going to be a nasty tempo that black has to deal with. Maybe f5? Ooh, f5 would be really... Yep, there we go. Okay, a7, queen a1. Stop the pawn from promoting and also set up more checks. Black could be okay here concretely, but okay, all 3 results very much possible. Queen a2 check, queen a4. Okay, maybe b6. Yep, secure the pawns. Now at least the queen has to be tied down. But it's very difficult for white because white is super passive. But of course the pawns are really strong. f4. Fantastic move. You have to go for the counterplay. Really strong. And now white is down on time. Yeah, I think this might be turning in black's favor because the queen is getting a lot of checks. White needs to make sure not to flag. 2-second increment, but easier said than done. f3 takes, queen takes f3 is mates. Oh, this might just be good. Bishop c5 check. And yeah, white loses the house. Unfortunately, very tough turnaround for Jay there. The game is not over yet. He can still promote. But now with the extra piece, black should be in control here, and yeah, decides to just slowly pick everything up. Yeah, tough game. White was very likely winning that one, but what can he do? Sometimes turns around. Okay, Icy says he had a king on h5. What happened here? Oh boy. Hey Quasi, how's your tournament going? King takes h5 and safe. Everything is safe. Bishop takes f4, game over. Yeah, sorry Jay, it was heartbreaking. Looked like a really good game. I think you were winning there. But yeah. Your opponent did a good job creating counterplay, so what can you do? Rook f5 check? Maybe. King g4? I don't know. I don't really see the mate here. And white always has like back rank ideas. So who knows? Let's see. How many games do we have going on? Oh, round 5 started. My bad. Okay, final round, guys. Final round has started. Hef and Sunny on 4 out of 4. We'll start with their game. So this is the big encounter that will decide the first winner. The first Chess Dojo Sunday Rapid. Very exciting. Hey, Eyelashes in the chat. That's okay. Maybe you can play next time. We got c4 here. Actually, this is not so good against the Taimanov move order, because knight c3, bishop b4 exactly, and now white has a difficult time defending this pawn. So takes, bishop d3, and here black is pretty much doing okay with like e5 and d6 and just setting up like this. Castles, though, maybe this allows white to play e5. I don't know, maybe it's still okay. What tournament were you playing, Eyelash? Okay, e5 on the board. Now maybe black has some queen a5 ideas. Okay, that's fine. No worries. I was just curious. I don't know. Queen a5 looks kind of sharp. What's going on here? Takes, and 2 pieces are hanging. Yeah, I mean, when white plays e5, it can be a big problem. But, okay, black takes first and goes queen a5. Yeah, this is a counter problem. No, they're both hanging. They're both hanging, Path Talk, because here the rook is hanging, and if we block and defend the rook, the bishop is hanging. so they're both hanging. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, because this one, of course, yeah, e5 is also hanging with check. So I don't know if e5 was really a good move here for white, because takes queen a5, or maybe queen a5 first. Yeah, I don't know. I think this might have been a blunder. So black in control. Sunny doing well in this first kind of final round of our tournament, because now he's grabbed the pawn. White's structure is crippled. White definitely has some dark squares, but it's not going to be enough for the pawn. You know, bishop a6, d5. Just these weak pawns alone give black compensation for the 2 bishops, but the fact that black is an extra pawn, I think, is just too much. Okay, so here white is offering this endgame. I think black should just take it. Go bishop a6, d5, fight on the light squares, and convert the extra pawn. But we'll see what happens. Definitely a lot of game to go from here. Okay, something crazy is going on this board, so I just want to see what was happening here. All right, we got e4, e5, f4, king's gambit, and knight f6. Kind of a rare system, but from what I know, I think this is pretty underrated. I think this is actually a pretty decent line for black. My guess is this is part of the Jan Gustafsson e4, e5 repertoire, because I know Mitch is a big fan. And yeah, I feel like I've seen Jan recommend this line, so this is definitely some known stuff. But yeah, we got some super sharp position. Bishop c5 check, queen f6, bishop f5. I like how black is playing this one though. I mean, it looks like his king is weak, but he's using the light square bishop very effectively here to kind of control all of the light squares that white cannot control by virtue of having given up his own light squared bishop. And so if black is just given a chance here to castle queenside and go rook g8 and e4, I mean, black is just going to be crushing here. Maybe not e4 because the f4 pawn is hanging, but anyway, the point stands. Rook g8, rook g6, rook dg8. This pawn on g2 is weak. Light squared bishop is good. Bishop g4 traps white's queen. Enough said. So white goes for it. Bishop takes f4. Can't give black time to get the king out of the center. Wow. Really nice. So now if takes, rook takes f4. He's trying to win back his piece and win a lot of material in the process. Does black have a way out here though? Bishop g6. Could be piece up for black. Queen e2 check, queen e7. Might not work for white, but this one is hard to calculate from black's point of view after bishop takes f4. Yeah, you know, the instinct is to try to find some like solid way to continue, maybe castling or bishop g6 or something, but no, you gotta take rook takes f4, and we'll see if he finds bishop g6. Oh, rook a1 first. Okay, white throws in this check. I think this is worth doing. If bishop e7, rook takes f4, white has a lot of pressure, so king f8. But now rook takes f4, bishop g6. Oh, queen h6 check. Can't unpin. Black cannot unpin because of this check. Wait, queen g7, the line's not over. Oh no, this is fine for black. This is fine. So bishop g6 does seem playable. Does white have something else? Maybe some queen move? But the bishop on g6 just kind of holds everything. We saw this in Icy's game earlier, where he had this powerful bishop just defending everything. But okay, we'll see what happens. Let's get back to our main game here. This is the one for all the marbles. So queen e2, black decided to keep queens on the board. I don't know if I like this decision, Sonny. Hopefully you watch this later. Yeah, because now white just gets some automatic counterplay. g4, g5, knight e8. You know, what's going on here? Probably it's not enough for white, but I don't know why black was afraid of this endgame. I mean, this one is just like super comfortable. d5 is coming, and I don't know, looks good to me. We'll have to ask Sonny about that later. But now the position could go any number of ways. I mean, black is not creating counterplay yet. Everything is secure. Maybe wants to go d5 next move. But white is trying to go h4, h5. A lot of players avoid endgames and feel uncomfortable in them. Yeah, that's definitely true. But that one just looked too good to pass up. Extra pawn, clear plan. You know, what more could you want? Here it's like now black has to deal with some real threats. Okay, rook g1. So just improving the rook. Probably could have gone h4 as well. We'll see what Sonny comes up with here. Might see d5. That seems like a natural move. in g6. So black is preemptively stopping queen h5 ideas. Probably was going to have to make this move at some point anyway. I mean, should still be good for black. I don't really see how white delivers mate, you know, without a knight. The only way you win this is with a knight on f6, knight on h6. So this one is hard. Hard for white's bishops to really activate here. White's king also doesn't have a safe square. I mean, no, black should be like totally winning here. Maybe d5 coming next or knight g7. But white is going to try to set up some h-file ideas. So it's not over until it's over. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but like it's not over until it's over. And sometimes it looks over, but then the game turns, and then it turns out it wasn't over, and the other guy wins. Oh, knight d6. This is a fancy move, attacking this guy. I don't know if this is really, because there's no threat here yet. We still need another move for actually. I feel like black is kind of playing to just try to like win everything. I don't know. I think d5 was just simple and strong. Just going after this guy. But we'll see. Doesn't really feel like white is in time either. Maybe should start moving the king over, start setting up some bishop f4, bishop e5 stuff. That would be fun if we can get king f1, some move, bishop f4, takes, and then bishop e5, and then we defend this guy, we attack this guy, we attack this guy. We set up rook h3, rook takes h7, king takes, queen h5 check, and queen h8 ideas. But that's probably a fantasy. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. All right, let's see what's going on in the rest of the standing. So basically we just have those players on 4 out of 4, these two guys. No one else on 3.5, everyone else on 3 out of 4. So this is a fight for first, and the rest of the players are in a huge fight for third place. We'll see who actually ends up getting there. I bet there will be some big tie with 4 points. A lot of people on 3 points out of 4. And we'll see who has the best tie breaks. Quick look at Dima Bean's games. Sure, let's see. How's Dima doing? Let's see. He's playing Coolest Blue. Okay, not looking great, to be honest, not gonna lie. Not looking great for white's position here at first. This is kind of concerning, you know, both bishops are bad. Black's queen is super active here. Black's king seems safe. Yeah, I mean, black just needs to make like one move, bishop e5, and basically white is just gonna have 0 counterplay for the rest of this game, you know, until black decides to win by like breaking through. So yeah, we'll see how this one plays out. One thing in white's favor though is that black is way down on time. You know, I'm not sure if this is a great thing because it seems like well, black has managed to make the most use out of his time by getting a good position, but it looks like he spent 1 minute and 16 seconds on his last move, king f7. That's way too slow. I mean, you know, if you have this position, you have 3 minutes left, you're doing well, you got to make moves quickly. You know, you got to find a way to improve your position and just keep it going. King f7 should have been played instantly, or bishop e5 should have been played quickly. So we'll see if Dima can swing it. Okay, going back to our main game. This is our championship game. This is decisive. Queen e5 check, rook e3. Now black can take another pawn on h2, but you guys see this is like a little bit concerning because, you know, I feel like black is going after these pawns that are not super necessary, whereas, you know, we should be going after white's main weakness, the c4 pawn. We should be trying to trade light squared bishops. If we trade bishops, we put the knight on f5, white resigns. You know, white just resigns. This knight on f5 is the strongest piece of all time. So the conversion process definitely an issue here for Sunny. Guess he could put the queen on g7, but yeah, it just feels kind of passive. Just feels a bit passive. Yeah, Gustavo, actually e5 in that other game we were looking at, I think it was a good suggestion. I don't know if he played it. Looks like he
Did not, went for king e2. But yeah, e5 I think is something that white needs to do just to get this check. And actually it could just be like super unclear. I mean, who knows what's going on here. Maybe white is even doing well. I mean, look at this. Takes, rook e7. This could be a total turnaround. So yeah, e5 would have been a nice find. I don't know, maybe it's not so clear, but yeah. Well, this is why I wanted bishop e5. This was the move to have cinched it. Now things could really go any number of ways. All right, we got to get back to our championship game. So rook e3, queen c5. All right, focusing on the c4 pawn. Hey, nice job, Henry. 3.5 out of 5. And thank you so much for subscribing. The support is much appreciated. Yeah, I'm sure we'll do this again. I mean, I'm shocked it took us this long to just run a simple rapid tournament. You know, clearly people want to play some rapid chess. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about the time control. 10+2. Is it too fast? We might do some blitz events in the future. That's honestly not our main concern, just because there's just so much blitz out there already. But I like rapid events. I like G15, G25, G10. I don't know, would you guys prefer slower tournaments, or is 10+2 pretty good? I feel like it's kind of a nice in between, because it's very fast, you know, but it's slow enough to actually follow the games. 15+10. Yeah, maybe we can do multiple rapid events. We can do this is kind of like a quick rapid, like 10+2, the Pro Chess League time control. But 15+10 is a pretty reasonable one. I would say 15+10 for me gets into long territory. Yeah, not everyone is going to be wanting to play like a full 15+10, because one 15-minute game is could be like 40 minutes. So 40 minutes is a lot for like one online game. 10+2, the maximum we can go is like 25 minutes, which is not too bad. Sure, let's see how Quasi's doing. He's playing Kali M. And okay, it looks like he's in control. He's got 3 pawns in this rook endgame. The pawns are split, so this one is not like super easy, but basically all black needs to do, I think, is activate the rook. I don't know if rook g6 would have been my choice. I think the best thing to do is use the rook to push white's king back so that our king can then make quick progress. I think that's kind of the easiest way to win this. Rook g6 is also okay. Now this pawn is running, and yeah, now white is gonna have a hard time even catching this pawn, so black should be winning here. Perhaps make it every third Saturday of the month. Yeah, no, I was thinking more frequently. I mean, I feel like we should have time to do these like once a week if people are into it. I think, you know, the tournament takes like a little bit over 2 hours, so seems doable. Once every weekend. So yeah, black should be winning this one. Oh, looks like Mitch won his game, so he's on 4 points out of 5. He did find that one nice defensive move here with bishop g6, got his queen out of the way. White definitely had a lot of compensation for the piece, but now black has the 2 bishops, despite white getting the exchange. Oh, queen takes f4. What a nice finish. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Always love a good back rank mate. Okay, let's get back to our key game here. So things are really sharpening up. This is going to decide the whole tournament, guys. Knight takes c4, queen h4, queen e5 check. Both of these players playing for first place. They both know it. They're on 4 points out of 4. They haven't lost a chess game today. Bishop e3, mate on h7 is currently hanging. Knight on c4 is hanging. Pawn on c3 is hanging. Wow, this is really sharp stuff. I mean, black could take this one here, probably force a move like king to e2, but at a certain point he's gonna have to go back queen g7. Did he just miss? No, he was in check. He was in check. Yeah. That's right. Now, one idea black can also consider here, I think could be really strong, is just h5. Just shutting it down. You know, because white takes en passant, but then the pawn blocks everything, and now black can get this huge counterplay, not having to worry about the mate threat. So he takes on c3 first, king e2. Yeah, I would strongly consider h5 here. The 9 is defended. Maybe that's what he was worried about. He didn't want to allow this, but okay, we still have this anyway, and it's fine for black. But he takes first, king e2. Nice job, Quasi. Looks like you won that last game. Okay, defends this one. I feel like if he was going to do this, he should have defended this one first, so that if white takes on c4, then black could give queen c3 check and recapture with check. Here, white can grab a piece, but I'm guessing it's still good. Although bishop d4, this could be a problem. I mean, e5, okay, maybe not. Black is still just, you know, this is the virtue of having a lot of extra pawns. You control a lot of squares. You know, you control a lot of squares, and so as long as this guy is defended, I don't know, I feel like h5 was just such a clean solution here, guys. I think this was the move. G takes h6, we can take the rook, we can give queen b2 check. Everything is winning. Here, black is still going to have to work for it. He's up on time, he's in control, but, well, that's the thing. The closer you get to winning the game, the more nervous you often get, and so it just gets harder and harder to finish off the game. It's nice when you have such a big center, though. Maybe we'll flip it. We'll take a look at it from black's point of view, just to see what it's like from this side. And it's hard because, you know, you want to push your pawns, but you can't. This pin is really bothersome. We're gonna have to deal with this one at some day for black. Yeah, basically black is gonna have to win the game. At a certain point, he's gonna have to start opening things up. You know, f6 could be played here. I think this is a reasonable move, but it's hard because it opens up the king. Rook d8, but he has to win the game, and so as long as white, just keeps the pieces kind of in position, white is always going to have swindle chances here. And so if black isn't able to clarify the situation, he's going to have a hard time. But he needs to figure something out. I think you just got to go d4. I don't actually see the problem here. Just push d4, rook e8, e4. Just break through. I mean, use your pieces. Bishop e4. Okay, rook e8, e4. Everything looks fine. Okay, rook c1. I think, you know what? Don't worry, man. Just just push e4, push d3. Queen comes in. You know, the problem for black is that he's been up material the whole game, and so he feels like he has to hold on to it. But in fact, that's not true at all. You know, chess is still a dynamic game. If you have a winning sacrifice, you just got to do it. Now, I think he's forced into it because he doesn't really have a way of defending the knight, but he might see that this is actually a worthwhile sack. Okay, we'll see where white puts the king, but it's dangerous. Queen b2 is coming. d2 is an idea. Oh, d2 might just be winning on the spot here. Okay, he takes first. Now d2. The pawn is running. Maybe he doesn't want to allow white to just give the bishop back, but I think black should just go for that, just take the piece. He's going to be up a couple pawns. Okay, e3. Takes. Maybe now d2. White is going to have to take this one. Rook takes e2. Oh, e3 was a nice nuance there, because now black has all kinds of ideas against white's king. Yeah, maybe queen b2 here. Queen coming to b5. Okay, rook d8 also good. Rook d1. Yeah, I really like how Sunny broke through here. e3, this was really nice. Rather than going d2 takes, king gets out, e3 first. Yeah, nice example of reciprocal thinking there, and it looks like black is winning the queen, winning the game. Should convert this one easily. I'm sure even Sunny's technique can handle this. Okay, missed a couple chances there to like win a rook. That's fine. Hey Dennis, I'm glad you played the tournament. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We'll definitely be doing more. Alright, just keep the queen. It always bothers me when players like give up the queen for the rook and they try to win with it. Just keep your queen. What are you afraid of, you know? How is he going to checkmate you? Okay, maybe king e5, king f6, but then only white gets mated. Alright, he covers it first. And yeah, come on, c2, and alright, he's taking this one. He's like, I am never going to get mated. I am never going to get mated. Alright, now white is panicking. Okay, why do we need this, guys? What are you gonna blunder with this rook? Just push the pawn, win the game. Players are always giving up their... And okay, gonna induce resignation, it seems like. Alright, congratulations to Sunny winning the tournament, 5 points out of 5. awesome performance. Let's see, do we have any games left over? Looks like this tournament is over. Sunny 5 out of 5. Hef gets the first or gets second place on tiebreak. Looks like a lot of players probably tied with 4 out of 5. And congrats to Countersparks with 3rd place. Nice job. We got Icy 4th place, Mitch 5th place, and Henry, only player on 3.5 points, finishing 6th out of, I think it was a total of 34 players. A couple of players withdrew, so we're down to 29 now. But yeah, great first tournament. Nice job, Sunny. Yeah, I think it would be instructive for you to actually maybe watch the commentary for the last game. I had a lot to say about the technique there, but it's all in good fun. Hopefully, it will be useful for you in terms of how to think about converting these types of positions. Yeah, shout out to Hef as well. Great tournament. Almost had it in the end there. Had some nice swindles. Fourth game. Who did you play in the 4th game, Sunny? I honestly just don't remember. Oh, against Mitch. How did this game go? Totally don't remember. Oh, this game. Yeah, this one was nice for black. Although, I wouldn't say this was a smooth game. This one actually seemed pretty messy. But yeah, this was an interesting game. Yeah, I'll exit out of that. But hey, thanks everyone for playing the tournament. Yeah, I know the screen share was all messed up. I just wanted to see through it. Was really fun event. I'm sure we'll do more of these. I had a blast. I mean, the games just go so fast, so it's like, it's really a lot of fun to cover them live. And I hope you guys will play the next one. Let me plug a few things, as the stream is probably going to be closing down soon. Later today we are doing Sunday night fights with Jesse, so that will be fun. That's at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll be covering some classical games, some 90 plus 30, maybe some 45 plus 30 from the ladder. And we also got the camp coming up. We're doing another training camp with Jesse and David, which will be 3 hours long. And yeah, if you guys want some hands-on training, you can register at the link below. Or if you're not a USCF player, you can just message me on Discord and register through that. Okay, guys, let's see if we can raid someone. Maybe we'll raid... How about Penguin GM? What's he up to? Oh, he's playing on chess.com. Good. Yeah, Hortbeck, it'll be pretty similar to the first one. We'll have like 2 training sessions, and depending on who signs up, we'll kind of create like different groups based on that. Although if we don't have a lot, then we'll probably just end up doing one group. Yeah, I saw that the camp was showing sold out. Chompton, I don't know what that's about. I mean, there's definitely space. There's a bunch of seats available. But yeah, are you not able to sign up because of that, or is the sign up still possible? Because I was confused. I know it says sold out, but I'm hoping that isn't actually impeding people from being able... Oh, won't let me register. Oh, okay. That's not good. I will get on that and get that fixed right away, because I thought it was still letting people register, but if it's not, then that's a problem. So I'll try to get that fixed, and you should be able to check later today, or hopefully at the very latest by tomorrow, and you should be able to sign up. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, guys, let's raid the Penguin Gym. I do like Benjamin Bach, although I don't see him streaming, so I don't know if I will be able to raid him. But we'll raid Andrew, who's a pretty incredible blitz player. We can see what he's up to. But yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys later for Sunday night fights, starting in just under 3 hours. Take care, guys. Have a good one.